Okay, we've got Tim Berneking. Have a seat.
2 miles of water.
How are you? Good.
I'm fine.
Extra water.
You'll be all right. You ever seen Don Knotts? Some of the movies? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay, here, we're gonna leave you a souvenir that you can take with you.
I can put that on my desk when I get
Yeah.
back, maybe.
Except for I folded it.
Is it over?
I don't know, if it's spelled wrong, sorry. We have, if you'll sit down, we have permission to videotape that we need you to sign, and I will also witness. And then we have the vetting committee rules that Denise is going to read, and then we'll sign that. Here are the score sheets. This is the ones that we'll use to score you.
And here are the rules. No one is allowed to be in the room except for the vetting panel and the candidate. All electronics shall be turned off except for laptops and video recorders used by the vetting panel. Cell phone or voice recorders shall be turned off in the room. No written materials or notes will be taken by the candidate. Ellis County Tea Party vetting panel and candidate agree that all questions and responses at this vetting session are to remain confidential until videos are uploaded and considered public information on the ECTP website at www.elliscountyteaparty.org. Verbal questions will be asked and verbal responses to those questions will be given. Answers will be limited to 2 minutes per question. During the video session, no follow-up questions will be asked, nor will the candidate be given any explanation of the questions. Candidate may request a repeat of a question at the time that the question is first asked. The candidate may request a copy of the vetting interview recording for a fee of $5. Recording will not be released until the video is posted on the ECTP website at www.elliscountyteaparty.org and the fee has been received.
Allergies are about gone. I'm on downside, but they can flare up.
Okay, we'll start off on this corner. Bill's gonna start with telling you what the timing is going to be on each question, and then we're gonna introduce ourselves, and then you'll be given some time to speak.
So the format of this will be, you'll get a 3-minute opening statement. There'll be 10 questions with 2-minute answers, and then you'll get a 3-minute closing statement, if Harlan allows it. And I'm the timekeeper. At 30 seconds, I'm gonna wave this, and hopefully I'm gonna wave it till you notice it. And then in 5 seconds. This is what, I've got a red sign here. If you see this, you'll hear this. And that's pretty annoying. So that means stop. With that, we'll give you a 3-minute opening statement.
After you introduce.
Oh, we're gonna introduce ourselves first.
Do it.
My name is Bill Carson, Ellis County Tea Party Steering Committee, longtime resident of Ellis County. The reason I am involved in this process is to help restore the Republic and bring America back for my grandkids.
I'm Randy Clemens, almost 3 years on Ellis County Tea Party Steering Committee. I'm in this to regain our freedoms, especially religious freedoms, not only in our county or our state, but our country. Welcome.
Tim, I'm Linda Bounds. I'm on the Ellis County Tea Party Steering Committee, and I thank you for coming.
I'm Harlan Bowles, I'm on Ellis County Tea Party Steering Committee. Been with the group a long time. Thank you for coming.
I'm Denise DeLara. I'm also on the Ellis County Tea Party Steering Committee, and thank you for coming this morning.
And I'm Michael DeLaura, Ellis County Steering Committee. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come out here and do this. Thank you.
Now you can have a 3-minute opening statement.
Okay, I don't know if I can speak for 3 minutes, because I thought it was a 2-minute opening statement, which, I'm not one to get in front of people and talk a lot, so, with the nerves and everything, My name is Tim Berneking. I decided to run for this position because of the things that I saw was going on the Commissioner's Court in Ellis County. And, of course, and that's downstream from the things that you see that are going on in the country for the last several years with our federal government all the way down to our local governments. I've said before, I'm never gonna be senator or president of the United States, although I probably consider myself more qualified than the guy that's in the White House now. But I do, wanna see where I can fit in, where I can do some good, where I can help out. And we need some new leadership, and we need some directors from all different levels of government. This is someplace where I think I can have a good fit and be a good help to the county and be a good servant for the people. My prayer is if I get elected to this position, I want to go into this position with a servant's heart, and I don't want to lose that. I believe there are probably a lot of people that go in for the right reasons, with a servant's attitude, servant's heart, and they start getting involved and they become little kings, and they become little rulers. And I don't want to do that. I don't want that to happen. If that does happen, somebody should take me out, Mike. Feel free, because I don't want that to be, that's not my goal, that's not my intention. And my intention is to serve the people of Ellis County. We've been here since '98, here in Ellis County. We left Richardson, sold our home in Richardson, and sought to move to the country, and that's what we did. Bought some property down south, part of Ellis County, and we just fell in love with the county. I've got with my servant's attitude, I will not try to smoke you on answers. I will not try to tell the public something that's not true. My whole thing is I want you to know what you're getting if you put me in this position, if you vote for me. And I don't want there to be any smoke and mirrors. I want you to know what you've got. And I'll do the best I can to represent myself. And I will just let you know that I believe that no one's got all the answers to all the problems and all the needs. And some people will lead you to think they do. And once you think they do, I'm going to tell you up front, I don't. But I've got plans, and I've got people that I'm putting in place that are agreeing to surround me, a small group of people, 5, 6 people, that are professional people of faith in Ellis County, to surround me as a group, to lift me up in prayer, and to hold me accountable with things I do, and to help me see things from different angles, different lights, without going to political people for those things.
Okay, first question. Define for us the roles and responsibilities of a county commissioner, and what are your qualifications to fill the position?
Well, one of the first things people think about with county commissioner, from apparently back in the day, what kind of started this whole thing off a long time ago, was taking care of county roads and bridges, maintaining roads. I would invite you to go out and look at my car before I leave here today, and you can see what my car looks like based, because of the kind of condition my road is in. I'm not doing this for my road, and I've told people that live on my road, I will not be fixing my road first if I win this position. That won't happen. But my road is torn up, and it wasn't near as torn up as it is now about 1.5 years ago. And they came through and just pretty much demolished it. And I'm not sure why. I don't know what the thinking is, other than it was cheap fix to make it look good and get by with some cheap repair, really. The roads and bridges are a big thing. There's some things that need to be done. There's some things to be taken care of. Roads are bad roads tear up cars. I work in the automotive industry. We see cars coming in all the time with bent parts underneath them. You can't hardly find a young person driving a Chevy Cobalt doesn't have a bent part somewhere underneath it on suspension because they're hitting rough roads. And we see it all the time. And county roads, as well as individual roads, have to run on those roads, county vehicles. So, they need to be repaired, need to be done well and done right. so that we can alleviate people having to spend money they don't have on things like repairs for cars. Besides county roads, you have to take into account that the county commissioner position, those four county commissioners, that judge, oversee the affairs of the county, having to do with everything from setting your tax rate to collecting your taxes and spending your money and taking care of all the county services that are involved with spending your money. Some of those decisions have probably been made well and been made right. I fear a lot of those decisions have been made wrong and not very well thought out.
Describe a role that you will carry out noticeably different than the other candidates running.
A role that I'll carry out. I've got a couple of things in mind that I would like to do that I don't think anybody else has spoken about at all. And one thing is, I want to be involved with the people of my part of the county in such a way that they know I'm there, that they know what the county government does, the commissioner court does. I want them I want to make some people active, get more people involved. I want them to know what's happening on the county court, why it's there. I asked a young person the other day, she said, "What are you running for?" And I said, "For county commissioner." You know what that is? She said, "That must be the people who takes care of your commissions. So these people get to vote." And I said, "Well, not exactly. Maybe we can sit down sometime, we can go over it." And from knocking on doors and talking to people, not many people know what the county commissioner court is. They don't have a clue. First thing they think, it's a court of law. And they don't really understand what it is and what they're doing. And when you tell them that that's people collect your taxes, then they start, waking up a little bit and listening to what you have to say. I want people to know what I do, what I'm doing, on a maybe not day by day, but nearly basis. And I want people to know how I want them to get involved. And I can have like I would like to have some public meetings with people, make myself available in the evenings so that people can come visit with me somewhere and be able to have like some little town hall meetings. So people in precinct 2 can get to know me better and can get to know what's going on with county government. And I haven't heard anybody else talk about that, but that's what I perceive as a good way to get people involved and get people wanting to take action and be involved in their government.
All right, next section is In God We Trust. And the question is, what does In God We Trust mean to you?
Well, what it means to me would be in God I trust, not in God we trust. In God we trust may not hold true with the country too much anymore like it used to. First of all, if I say in God I trust or in God we trust, I'm speaking of the God of the Bible, Old and New Testament. I'm not speaking of any other God, little g, that's known to man. The country was founded on Christian Judeo principles, and those principles are largely get swept under the rug. And it's just, this as a Christian, this world is not my home. While I'm here, I want to make it a better place. I want to be involved so I can not just reach out to people through government, but also reach out to people on a spiritual plane. I believe that the only true way to salvation is through Jesus Christ, as outlined in Scripture, as very emphatically. So when people want to stand up and say, "Well, yeah, in God I trust," and the God of your God and the God of Islam, they're all the same. Well, that's not true. That's absolute fabrication. That's absolute lie. I will stand up to my saying in God I trust and the God of the Bible, and I'm a believer, and I'll do that till the day I die.
Thank
National and Texas sovereignty. What role does the county commissioner play with interacting with the county sheriff?
By things going on lately with the commissioner of court, maybe not a very good role. It seems like there's been a lot of strife between the court and the sheriff's department. Big thing that came up recently, well, first of all, it all has to do with the budget. Your tax dollars go towards paying for county services, and the sheriff's department is a large part of that budget. If we're gonna control crime, if we're gonna take care of the people in the county, that's probably the way it needs to be. Sheriff probably needs to get the biggest part of the budget, because there are a lot of expenses and things involved. When it comes down though to things like happened recently with the sheriff making a statement about wanting to maybe look into housing illegals for the federal government, opening some beds up for some illegals to house them. The court kind of took off with that and looked into checking into having the jail run by independent contractors. And, you know, if you think about that, if you look into that, it doesn't take very long to look into that and see what's happening in some other places with that whole issue. And it's complete, be a complete boondoggle and ruin some counties as far as financially. We had a check on it. There's a couple main companies that do that, that privatize jails, and one of them, well, they sought out bids, they talked to them about doing this, and they got their opinions, and they told them what they wanted to do, and through the information they got from these companies, they rated, it's my understanding, they rated one of them a D and one of them an F. So that's really good to start off with which one you're gonna hire. One's not much better than the other one. But there's places that have done this, and based on what these privatizing companies have told them, they have built huge jails for lots of money that have gone belly up, and people are gone from all the money they promised them, the jobs they promised them, and now the people in the counties have to come up with hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to pay for these jails and these brand new facilities, and things like that are kind of out of control.
Number 5, fiscal responsibility. Can you identify any areas within the Ellis County government where spending can be cut, and in what ways do you plan to lower taxes in Ellis County?
Well, sometimes, and I have not spent a ton of time on this, I absolutely will work tooth and nail to keep taxes down or to lower taxes. I would love to do that. The taxes are completely out of control, and taxes at all levels. The thing that needs to be studied, I believe, is not the budget. People put the budget out there as a way for you to see the budget. Here's what we did last year. Here's what we're doing this year for the budget in these departments. So we just need just a little bit more. Maybe raise taxes, bump them up a little bit more. And everybody says, raise taxes, but that's not too bad. And it's just little by inch by inch. I think what needs to be really pushed or really studied hard and close by all the people, commissioners working together, would be the CAF or the report, the financial report, annual report that says where that money's going. And I would like to dig into that more fully so that we can see where money's going to make intelligent cuts and intelligent choices on where things need to be eliminated or constrained a little bit or set back a little bit, so monies can be diverted in areas where maybe are more important. Where those specific areas are, I'm not there yet to tell you, come out with, oh, here's what I think and here's why. I will be doing that, but I'm not there yet.
Still under fiscal responsibility, what is your position regarding the practice of centralizing the equipment and material supplies for road and bridge?
I think it could be a real good thing. And I can see where there could be some difficulties with it, but all that's gotta be mapped out. I said a while back that, a lot of people think, is a business buzzword that was out there for a while, change is good. So you're supposed to say, oh, if something's changing, you're supposed to just accept it and think that that's the most wonderful thing to do because it's a change, it's something different, something new. And Coke changed the formula and it was not good and they changed it right back. Change is not always good just for the sake of change and bragging, but it needs to be looked at real hard. If you're gonna centralize things, I've got some questions as far as where equipment's gonna be and how far I gotta move it across the county, get from one place to another, and some different expenses and things involved with that, and maintenance and that on equipment. But I spoke to somebody from another county recently, here a couple months ago, and some of the things that she was sharing with me, where they did this at another location, I'll name later, I was very intrigued with it, and she said it was a great thing to do. It turned out to be a really good thing, and they've been real happy with it, and it's working out very, very well. So I think it's something that needs to be looked at, and very possibly, good way to go. I won't say yet that I'm completely sold on it, but, as far as looking at things and getting some different angles and different thoughts from different people, other than just one person or two people that say, here's what we need to do, and one or two people say, no, I wanna have a discussion about it, and I wanna kinda hear where everybody's thoughts are, and understand where they're coming from, and get some different input from different angles, before I make a hard-nosed decision. But it could be a very, very good thing to do. And I think the person I was talking to in another county, I hold them in very high esteem, and I trust them for what they say, so.
What can be done to improve the budget process, making it easier for the public to have input in the process?
Didn't have the public more in. There's a whole lot said, buzzwords in government, or all the transparency and all that. There's very little that I can see. There's not a lot of opportunity for Joe Public to know when those things are taking place and when they're gonna be discussed and that kind of thing. I went to a commissioner's court where I thought they were gonna discuss the budget some, and they didn't, and I was about the only person in the court there for that meeting. I think it's a matter of informing, and a matter of putting yourself out there, letting people know what's going on, and if there's a place or a time where that they can be involved and give input. If that's just commissioner's court, that's hard to do the way it's set up right now. If that's a time that's going to be set aside separately, maybe in different locations around the county, so people can come together and share their ideas, I'd be absolutely open to that. Again, to go back to the town hall meeting kind of thing, I've been to some town hall meetings with some more upper level people in the government, and they've been absolutely silly. I'm not into dog and pony shows, and I see that happening some. And personally, I don't think I really don't care to refer to certain, whether it's business or government, refer to certain entities as dog and pony shows, because I don't want to insult a lot of dog and ponies. But I think we need to make sure that people, get it out there so people know, we're going to talk about the budget, we're going to have this meeting, it's going to be this time, it's going to be in your neighborhood, it's going to be in the evenings, whatever. And if we can get people out there to show up that want to be involved, want to give input, then I think that'd be great. And if nobody shows up, you do that 4 or 5 times and nobody shows up, maybe there's a big lack of interest, and maybe you do the best you can to want to inform people, and they don't care to be informed. But we gotta try. You see yellow.
Question number 8 is under personal responsibility. Relevant to the position you are seeking, what is your first and foremost responsibility to the people of Ellis County?
First and foremost, I think it would be to just be sure that they know what I'm doing and what's going on in my mind, what's going on in my thoughts, what's going on with my convictions. I see myself wanting to open myself up out there with a website or email list or whatever we can do to get people informed with what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking, here's why. And if they want to rebut me or call me stupid, or if they want to support me or whatever, you gotta be ready to take that. But as far as, just responsibility goes, I think it's just not hide in the closet, not perform my position, perform my job, working for them as a servant to them, with an attitude of, I want to, if I can just keep it in the closet, keep behind the scenes where nobody really knows what's happening, so nobody can really, bring it up or refute it or reprimand me or whatever. That's part of what my group is going to be for holding me accountable. Then I think we need to take those steps, and that's not just commissioner court times at certain times so more people can show up. But that's being active to the point where, put myself out there and let them know, fight to let them know, here's what's happening, here's what I'm thinking, and here's why. And I want them to know that I'm open, this is what you get, and I want them to know that I'm being responsible with their properties, responsible with their monies and everything. I wanna fight for them, like when we start talking about in Austin about more and more regulations with septics and things like that cost people lots of money for nothing other than somebody making a stroke of a pen saying, oh yeah, it's no big deal. I think that stinks, and I wanna fight for that, for people.
All right, next section is rule of law. The question is relevant to the position you are seeking. Oh, yeah. Explain how important it is to have a working knowledge of the Constitution, and do you have that knowledge?
Oh yes, I'm a constitutional scholar. Actually, I'm not. I will tell you, I actually signed up with Hillsdale College several months ago. It was right before I decided to run for this office, and but having attended several political meetings with the Republican Party, with the Tea Party, and the Republican women, and starting to get involved with those things, I stand for a class with Hillsdale, and I've not been able to take it yet. I went back on about 3 weeks ago to pull up my deal and see about getting back in it, and I had to redo a password because I hadn't been on it yet. So my goal is to take, my promise is to take the class on the Constitution. I'm not a scholar. I'm familiar with several amendments, the ones that concern all of us, and the ones that concern me mostly now, which is the First and the Second Amendment. I'm real big on Second Amendment. I don't think this goes back to, everybody's not gonna have all the answers, and it probably goes back to why not many people signed up for this vetting. Knowing there's gonna be questions on the Constitution and having to say, oh, yeah, I just don't really remember that amendment, or don't remember, that part of the Constitution. I think that's true with 99.9% of us, in the county here, and I think that's a shame. And I'm as guilty as anybody else. I don't know it as well as I should. I do have familiarity with the Constitution and the amendments that concern me, and the things that I see our government rolling over and not paying attention to. And a lot of people said we free a country and they need a Constitution. We should give them ours because it worked pretty good for a couple hundred years. Some sharp guys wrote it, and we're not using it. And I think that as well as I think all of you all know, we need to be sure that we're fighting for that Constitution, get back to everything it says.
Thank you.
9A, how many articles and how many amendments are there to the U.S. Constitution?
My articles. There are 20, I believe 23 amendments. I'm not sure a number of articles. Good short answer. And the Texas Constitution is about this much longer than the United States Constitution. And it's very difficult to read, actually, written by a bunch of lawyers.
Number 10, last question, limited government. What is your position regarding the North Central Texas COG?
Years ago, in a speech, Ronald Reagan, I haven't been able to find it, and I know it's out there, but years ago, I think it was soon after he took office, in a speech he made, he said, the EPA is completely out of control. We need to abolish it, shut it down, and start all over. And that was back in probably early 80s, very early 80s. And I would love to find that speech, but I'm still trying. And that's kind of how I feel in some ways about the North Central Texas Council of Governments. I am involved with them to one extent. I work at an automotive shop, and these folks have a program for low-income people to get their emissions repaired on their cars, that they can get financial help. It's a good program. It's a very simple program. It doesn't take much to get people on it if they can prove their income. I see people getting help from it, and yet part of me says, but we're talking here about, you know, government control, government takeover, more taxes going for things maybe they shouldn't go for, just more programs. So let's set up programs where it's difficult for most people to get their cars repaired, but they gotta pay a bunch of money, and we're gonna shove that down their throats for emission reasons, which I don't even think, I think it's a total scam anyway. But that's what I do, repair cars. But, that's a, you know, shove it down everybody's throats, but then if they can't afford it, don't worry about it. Those people will pay for everybody else for their cars so they can go on and drive their cars. I don't think it's necessarily, the best thing. It is a program that's out there, and I've got to, as an employee for my employer, I've got to provide it for people. But I think when you look at all the myriad of things that they're involved in, and all the myriad of things they do, it goes back to Ronald Reagan with the EPA, I think they're probably totally out of control with control of local governments, the things they get to do.
Okay, Tim, now you get a 3-minute closing.
Okay, again, my name is Tim Berneking. When you go to the polls, remember my name, it sounds like Berneking. If that helps you remember it, that's great. My heart is just to serve the people of Ellis County. And there are probably people in this room, there are people in professional positions in this county of faith that I will be looking to for help with that. Everybody gets advice from people. I don't care to get advice necessarily from other commissioners or advice from the judge. I will not be persuaded by a county judge or another commissioner or somebody above the judge or somebody in government who's going to strong arm or anything, try to make you see a different way, a certain way, to vote a specific way for a specific reason. My goal, my promise is I'll vote my heart, I'll vote my convictions, and I will be guided by good faith and just a desire to do what's right for the county, for the people of Ellis County. And this group of people I'm putting together for supporters, for people who will bathe me in prayer, who will meet with me once in a while and talk about things, help me see things different angles, professional people of faith. That's the people that I will be relying on for considerations and for an ability to be able to see things from different angles, to make prayerfully wise decisions for the county. That's all I want to do. And I'll tell you, if I would love to serve the people of Ellis County for 4 years, one term of 4 years. If after that my health is good, and if after that they want me to go another 4 years, I'll seek to serve a second term of 4 years. And if after that my health is good, and if after that people want me to serve another term of 4 years, I'm gonna grab my wife and go to Disney World or something, because I'm not gonna do a third term, because I believe in term limits, and I believe too many people are in positions like this for way too long. And I will not do it. What I would like to see myself doing at that point, after that point, when that experience, I would like to get involved with going to Austin and fighting for legislation. I want to wear some pink running shoes and stand nose to nose with Wendy Davis and some of those folks. Get vocal in Austin. I would like to see that happen. My name is Tim Berneking. Vote.
Thank you, Tim.
Sure enough. I didn't need my Kleenex.
You did, you did good.
It's a good thing. It is embarrassing. Remember, there's always somebody at college. Always somebody had to walk around with Kleenex all the time, or a pillow they had to sit on, you know, or in their arm or something weird. And here I am. See you later, folks.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tim.